Excellent. Well, before I delve into today, very quickly, I know a lot of you on the webinar, but for those of you who are thinking, who is this Rachel person anyway? Fair call. In under 5 seconds, let me just say I'm a marketing specialist who works with financial advisors day in, day out on everything financial services. So please be rest assured that everything I share with you today is practical, but more importantly, it works. And I know that it works because I work with advisors like yourself every single day. So today's a 17-minute webinar. And why 17 minutes, you might ask? Well, we're all busy through the day, and I really wanted to grab you for a short time and talk about this really important topic, being online reputation management. No, sorry, I can just, reputation management. So there'll be a lot of talking from me today and probably no time for questions from you. So not a very interactive webinar. I'm breaking all the rules, but I don't care this time because this topic I know is worrying a lot of advisors and needs addressing. I also have the world's most boring slides as well. So just to warn you, I won't be dazzling you with amazing imagery today, more like dazzling you with practical information you can use, note down, and go back to your desk straight away and do something with it. So let's move on. Question for you. What is a 6-letter word that manages your digital reputation? What's a 6-letter word that manages your digital reputation? Google. So for those of you who said it, well done. That's right, it's Google that's managing your online reputation. Now, some interesting stats I've got that I wanted to share with you today, and you can read these off the screen. 58% of executives, and I've put you in that pool of bucket of 58% of executives, believe that online management is really important, should be addressed, but sadly only 15% actually do something about it. 70% of customers, and I think we all feel the same as well, prefer getting to know a company via their articles and their information rather through adverts. And I put an interesting one in here. I know that a lot of us deal with pre-retirees and retirees, but what's interesting is still that younger demographic is seeking out opinions from others before they make a purchase. 74% depend on social media to guide their purchases. Remember this, we are talking about online. And beautiful segue here, 92% of consumers read online reviews. I do it. I'm sure you do it as well. So there's just some interesting stats that I wanted to share with you. Also, what I'd like to share with you before we delve into the checklist for you guys to go and use is I want to talk about today's client, because a lot of the work that I do is talking to advisors of clients, so I know this information is true, and it really doesn't matter about age, but today's client is technically savvy. We love it in Australia. We love mobile devices. We are very wise to the ways of marketing. Your clients have got high expectations, and I think they should have high expectations as well. They really see you as the go-to person. They want to be informed and up to date, and kept up to date, and again, I think they should have that expectation. They don't want to be bored, none of us do, even when you have the world's most boring slides. They're busy, everybody is, I think it's an epidemic. Your clients are actually very happy to share and compare information, and more than you know it, they're actually open to others as well. And the other thing that I just wanted to cross off the list before we jump into the checklist is this concept of blurred lines. So when we're talking about online reputations, years ago we used to say that LinkedIn was very much your professional platform. That's where people would go to investigate you from a professional nature. And we used to say that Facebook was very much that personal, matey type platform. Well, with our love of social and our love of platforms, that is no longer. Now, don't shoot the messenger. I can't do anything about it, but people do stalk on Facebook, and I know this. If we were in an open seminar now, I know a lot of you would be smiling and nodding. Whether you like it or not, people will see if you're on Facebook, and they will see you're on LinkedIn. I can't do anything about it. all I can do is help you today. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So let's start to write a checklist of things that you need to be perhaps doing in your business to protect your online reputation. Now, before we delve into that, I just wanted to say there's 3 stages with regards to managing a reputation. And the 3 stages are, the first one is repair. And you might want to write this down. That's why I've got the world's most boring slide, so you actually write this stuff down. So the first one is repair. The second one is improve, and the third one is to protect. Now, as an industry, sadly, I'd say we perhaps need to do a bit more repair, but I would imagine for you today, it's about protection. It's about protecting your online reputation, and that's what we're going to cover off, how to achieve that. So please grab your pens, your notepads, whatever it is, your iPads, whatever you need to do, and let's start writing. So, first boring slide for today, take control. It's take control of your online reputation management, your ORM as we call it. So for first thing, for some this is more of an attitudinal change. It's more of a paradigm shift. We know that your reputation is basically your business, and for years now many have been ignoring this part, this online reputation or lack thereof. You really do have to take control and make it part of your business plan to take control. So I want this whole thing to move into your business planning area as well. If you don't take control, frankly, someone else might, and then it's all too late and you're in repair mode. So take control. The fact that you're here today, and there are literally hundreds of you today, I wasn't surprised by the amount of people that have registered and signed up, because I know that this work is worrying a lot of you. So the fact that you're here today shows that you're keen to do it, so that's brilliant. But it can't just be a you thing. It really does need to be everybody in your business taking control of their own reputations too. So that's the first conversation to have with your business, take control. The second thing is I want you and each of your staff, I'd love you to do an audit. Now, some of you may have done this in the past, but today I want you to be a bit more scientific about it. I'd like you, and not now, I'd like you to enter your name after today, after this webinar. I'd like you to enter your name into Google and note down every site that your name appears on. Also, any sites that you felt your name should appear on but perhaps hasn't come up. For example, any association sites, any businesses that you sponsor, anything like that. So you should be creating quite a comprehensive list. And I'll run through in a minute what to look for, what to look out for. And I'd suggest that every quarter you all conduct this audit again, because it's about being in control of your reputation. And I'd like you to even conduct an audit of perhaps 3 other advisors too. Now, depending on where your business is, it could be local audits or it could be audits of advisors that you admire as well. And I'd love you to start doing a Google search of what you think your ideal client might search for online. Now, it could be keywords or it could be business. Have a go and see what comes up. The reason I want you to do this audit is I want you to see what other people are seeing about you. And this is perhaps something that you haven't just created the space to be able to do. Okay? Now, I did this exercise for an advisor the other day, true story. I did this exercise for an advisor the other day. He's quite a senior gentleman, and I know that his existing clients value his advice. However, when I conducted this audit, I found that some of his profiles weren't complete. One had the wrong phone number. On one of the sites, his website URL didn't work. Some of the profiles were in first person, some were in third person. You need to make the choice, the decision, which do you want, first person or third person. And it was actually quite alarming. I was very surprised, and so was he. So even one of the associations that he's part of, who are just about to launch into a massive ad campaign, had his wrong details. So the first thing you've got to do is that audit. The next thing you've got to do, second worst slide up there, second thing you've got to do is, as one of the stats said, people trust articles more than they do adverts. So I suspect as a business you can deliver advice in a range of services. You can solve certain problems that people have. So I want you to tell them. Have relevant, up-to-date content that demonstrates to people that you have the knowledge, that you've got the right credentials, that you know what you're talking about, and you can simply do that through the content and the articles that are on your website or social media platforms. Now, if you need any help with newsletters, articles, social medias, just shoot me an email and I can help you, because you've got to own your patch. Give people that are online information that shows them what it is that you do and that demonstrates your online reputation. The next thing I want you to do is to be proactive. So how many of you have looked at, say, businesses on Facebook, seen that they've posted stuff and noticed that no one has commented or liked the information? Have you noticed how that actually makes you feel at that stage? Take note next time. You won't feel very inspired at all. The other part of being proactive when it comes to your online reputation is responding to comments, even likes. So I'm not suggesting that every time someone likes something you go in and say thank you for every like. Instead, if you notice that a certain post is perhaps receiving a lot of likes, just go in and say thanks. When you talk about reputation, being seen to be interactive and social is a really important, a really key element. Can I ask, response checklists? Does anyone have a response checklist? Do you and your team know what to say if someone does post a negative comment or review about you? So for this particular example, I'm just going to talk about Facebook. I'll talk about other platforms in a minute, but for this response checklist, I'm just talking about Facebook. Now, we're in a 17-minute webinar, so we don't have time for questions and answers, so I'm asking you this question for your own sort of mind. This, what you can see now on the screen, this is an example of what I'm talking about. Obviously talking social media, which is important. Social media is really important when you're building and protecting your online reputation. Now, I'll share with you again, I was talking to an advisor the other day who said he didn't use Facebook. And he didn't use it because he'd heard about all the negative comments you can get. So misinformed. Firstly, where are all these negative comments? Secondly, we actually, as people, we actually don't like being associated with negative comments. So we're actually, as people with profiles, we're actually not likely to go on and make a really negative comment about it because it's just not in our makeup. And lastly, if you do receive a negative comment, for example on Facebook, activate your response checklist. The next thing I want to talk about is brand advocacy. Now, if people can see what others have said about you, all the positive comments, that is absolutely perfect. I want you to find your loyal clients and ask them to write a review of your business. Now, for some of you, this will be a very uncomfortable idea that I'm suggesting. For some of you, that would be absolutely fine. With any marketing that I suggest, you have to come from a place of integrity. It has to be something that you want to do. But what I'm suggesting here is the more good we can see, the less bad we're going to see and comment on as well. So find your loyal clients, ask them to write a review about your business. Protecting the good tends to demote the bad. Now, if someone can see that you've got raving fans, that you've got a community that are happy with your service and advice, it's probably going to make the person who's unsure feel more positive about their experience and your advice. Now, Australians are a cynical bunch, so be warned. Pure raving client reviews alone don't necessarily lead to more ideal clients. Research shows that if someone is looking at, say, two different businesses, one has raving reviews but no relevant content and a dated website, versus the other that doesn't have any reviews but has an up-to-date, relevant website, engaging content, videos, so forth, they're actually more likely to choose advisor number two. We're a complex lot, aren't we? So the message is, don't just think that raving reviews is enough to protect your online reputation. You need other marketing stuff too. People look beyond reviews. They look to things like articles, maybe press releases. You know, that social proof that I just talked about is really important. They might look to third-party news. They look to charitable giving. You know, is this a nice company to deal with? As I said, they look at your website, any blogs, images of your company, videos about the people and the services, and so much more. So as I said before, perfect reviews alone are suspicious, but a perfect online presence is less so. So this is because there's a lot of social proof that your company is worth doing business with and has a great online reputation. How are we going for time? Excellent. Right, need to move on. Dominate Google. Remember that audit you did at the beginning? Well, now it's time to use the findings and make sure that wherever you turn up, you look absolutely shipshape. Now, what I mean by this is check advisor ratings. So I would suspect that all of you, whether you know it or not, have a profile on advisor ratings. After this webinar, check, don't check now. So I want you to check advisor ratings. I want you to check the FPA, the AFA websites. I want you to check your website. I want you to check LinkedIn, everywhere, and make sure that you have completed your profile 100%. That means you've uploaded your profile picture, the correct website address, a summary of how you can help people. Now on this, brand consistency is really important. Your LinkedIn profile, website profile, FPA profile, all of them should have a similar, if not the same message. Now I was having problems uploading an advisor's profile into the FPA site the other day, and I had to contact them, and they said that not many advisors have actually completed their profiles. Please do. This is basic reputation management. These sites will come up when people are seeking some feedback about you. But remember, it's not just about you, it's about you and your team. How you look online impacts the way people make decisions. We've nearly finished, bear with me. Social activity. I want you to use social activity to manage and to protect your reputation. I'll tell you a story about one of my kids. One of my kids was being bullied at school. It's horrible. It's every parent's nightmare. And we'd sit down with him each night and talk about it. And when I said to him, mate, what did they say? You know, what did they say? And he'd tell me, and I'd say, what did you say? And he said to me, Mum, I said nothing. Now, how is that going to help him being silent? I'm not suggesting that bullying comes into play here, but my message is, if you don't stand up for yourself and use your voice to build and protect your reputation, you open the doors for either your competition to walk all over you or for people to make the wrong decision about you in your business. That's the end of the checklist. I want to talk about how I can help you. One of the quickest and easiest ways to helping you is with your LinkedIn profile. And I'll focus on that just at the moment because far too many advisors have set up their LinkedIn profile but haven't completed it, and that could very easily affect your online reputation, just that one step, only because of the relevance of LinkedIn. So if you want help with that part of your online reputation, that part is easy, and this offer might be of interest to you. So we can nail I'll do a review with you of your LinkedIn profile. I'll sit down and talk to you about ways that you can improve it. I'll show you how to use the tool, and I'll give you more, access to information on how best to use LinkedIn. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, you can see the investment there. I know it's a very easy investment, and others have used it in the past. I can see a couple of you are on the webinar today, so hello, thank you for joining me. All you need to do to get that offer, by the way, is just email me and write the word offer in, and we'll set it up, and that will be absolutely fine. For those of you who want to know more about other areas of marketing that I can help you with, there are my contact details. Guys, it's been around 17 minutes, time to get back to work. I trust that you've got some practical tips out of today, and you can start to proactively protect your online reputation. Okay, now you will receive an email from me over the coming days. I think it's within 24 hours. If you've got any questions, I know that it's just been me talking at you today, but if you've got any questions, feel free to shoot them across, and that would be wonderful. So thanks, guys. I trust you've got value in the 17 minutes. Go, do your audit, do your check, improve your profiles, and get your clients to say great things about you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.